What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So one of the biggest things that I've seen people commenting and asking about is the Ballerina and John Wick crossover. Obviously, they have confirmed one of the operators coming in, and we've talked about that one already. But on top of that, there is the bigger question to where is John Wick? Is he going to be releasing? Will there be a part 2 of this event? And I want John Wick in the game as much as anyone else, so I went ahead and tried to do my own research to see if maybe they would actually be releasing him, and today we're going to go over all of that. So if you do find the video informative or helpful at any point, consider hitting that like and subscribe button to help us on the road to 500k. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing is we have the Ballerina event. If you don't know about that, that's going to be the very first event that will go live with the season 4 update. It actually starts on June 5th, so 1 week exactly after season 4 goes live. This event will be available in the game. Now, the thing about this is usually the first part updates or the first collaboration that we get in a season isn't as big, so they'll typically just bring in a bundle, a little event, and then that's pretty much it, and then they move on. We've seen that with Terminator, we've seen that with Jay and Silent Bob being the first crossover in the first part of Season 3, and then Season 3 Reloaded ended up doing a bigger crossover where they brought in Seth Rogen and Event Pass, and that's typically the pattern that Black Ops 6 has been following. So what it seems like right now is maybe Ballerina is going to be the smaller crossover, and then we're going to get a completely different one that's going to be much bigger in Season 4 Reloaded. Well, it doesn't seem like that could be the case because Mr. Dally JD, he said the side quests are getting crazy. He posted this, he said, "Last night I was invited by Call of Duty UK and Lionsgate UK to attend the global film premiere for the Ballerina movie to celebrate the upcoming collab." He also said, "Can't wait to play as Anna as Eve in Zombies on June 3rd ahead of the film release on the 6th of June. So pretty much confirming that the bundle itself is going to be releasing on June 3rd. That's the expected date, and then the event is going to start 2 days later, and then the day right after that is going to be the official movie releasing. And that's pretty huge, seeing a COD creator invited out to a film premiere. That's something I don't think has really ever happened before. So it seems like this crossover might be a lot bigger than what we expect. Now, what's interesting is in the Call of Duty blog post, they said these specific things. So first off, they said in terms of the Season 4 operator, Stitch returns after being freed from prison, headlining the new Battle Pass next to the sinister Omen leading Black Cell, plus deploy as the assassin Eve Macaro in a collaboration with Ballerina, followed by much more at mid-season. So they're hinting that there's going to be a lot more coming in. And then they also said this. So they said the events horizon. Season 4 is packed with events, including Rivals, Ballerina from the world of John Wick, and even more coming mid-season. So it's like yet again, they're teasing that there's going to be even more, suggesting that maybe we're going to get a part 2 of this crossover. Now, obviously, John Wick being one of the main characters that people have wanted to see in COD for years now. I mean, people have made concepts back in like MW2, Cold War, wanting to see a John Wick operator actually added to the game, and I feel like it's a big step in the right direction with Call of Duty and Lionsgate coming into an agreement to actually bring characters from their movie. Now, alongside this, COD Warfare posted this, and he said apparently 3 collab operators from the world of John Wick event / Ballerina are going to be coming in, and obviously Eve being the first and main one, which has already been confirmed. That leaves us off with 2 other potential ones that could release. So first off, we have John Wick, the main character. Now, what I also found interesting is many people commented saying that although they want to see John Wick, it doesn't seem like it's likely because he's not the main character in the movie. It's obviously following Eve Macaro, but it's in the universe of John Wick. But at the same time, when I watched the trailer, it seemed like he has quite a couple of scenes within the film. And it's not like one of those movies where they will reference him just to let you know that it's a part of the universe. But Keanu Reeves is definitely acting new scenes out within this film, so he's definitely a main key character in the movie. And even within the movie itself, Eve mentions and talks to him, telling him how popular he is and how she's heard stories of him. So it could still be very likely that we get a John Wick operator in Call of Duty. Now, as for the other operators that we have Pine. That's Norman Reedus. We've already seen him in Call of Duty before with the Walking Dead collaboration. And then there's also Sharon. He's the concierge for the Continental Hotel, which is Lance Reddick. Rest in peace to him. And there could potentially be some difficulties with that. Maybe his family doesn't want him, in Call of Duty. So maybe he won't end up being added, and it could just be Pine and John Wick. And then another leaker pretty much yet again agreed with this. He said it's 3 collab operators this season, I believe so, John Wick and then someone else. Now another couple of reasons why I believe this collab is going to get extended into season 4 Reloaded is, first off, if you take a look here at one of the upcoming maps, this is known as Eclipse, a new strike map that's set to release in the mid-season update. So it's not going to be available in the first part. And that is going to be the one that was also being showcased by Eva Macaro in one of the images that Call of Duty showcased. And then when you take a look at the ballerina trailer, in one of the settings, in one of the fights, it looks like it's following the theme of the story. Even some of the posters have that neon purple coloration, that nightclub type of theme going on, and it just matches. And it looks like this map is pretty much built for this collaboration. So that could be just one big coincidence. I just think the fact that they use that particular operator on this map to showcase it when the map doesn't release all the way until mid-season, and then this bundle releases in just a couple of weeks from now, it's like something that they're trying to tie together. Now, other than that, there's also another map update that we have, which is in Call of Duty bringing in the new Overlook Tower. And what I find interesting is, out of all of the seasons, when they're finally doing that collaboration with the John Wick universe, they're bringing in a tower into the downtown location, and I feel like this is also yet another potential coincidence, because this tower could end up being rebranded as the Continental Hotel. I think if they are going to do a part 2 of this collaboration, it just makes sense. Fortnite has actually done this before when they did a crossover with John Wick, and then they ended up, creating the Continental Hotel as a POI over in Tilted Towers. It's the same thing here that they could potentially do. We've already seen them do map updates before for crossovers. For example, with the boys, they updated Vondo, they added posters and benches and things like that showcase the boys crossover. And it's one of those things that just makes sense, and it would be a missed opportunity if they don't do that. If this does happen and this does get a part 2, that means that we're going to see it in an event pass. Typically, an event pass is always going to have a crossover within it, whether it's going to be John Wick yet again, which we're speculating it will be, or if it's going to be something completely separate, they're going to charge you for an event pass. And I personally believe they did a John Wick event pass, that would be an instant cop by, I'm assuming, like 75% of the Call of Duty community, and it would be free money and a win-win situation for Call of Duty as well as for Lionsgate. Now, I did create a concept for what this could potentially look like if it happens. So John Wick being the premium event pass reward, meaning you'd have to pay 1,100 COD points and then grind it out from start to finish to unlock everything. And typically what it is it's just a bundle that is split apart into a bunch of different rewards, and they spread it through. So first off, you have the instant rewards. Then when you get to 6,000 XP, you'll unlock something that have 14,000, 26,000, 46,000, 76,000, and then so forth. It continues on. Usually it's 356,000 XP to complete an entire event, and they give you around like 2 weeks to do it. There's also the free tier section. So there's always a potential 3 set of operators that you can always get. So either 2 that are available in the free tier, or maybe 2 that are available in the premium version. We saw Seth Rogen have 2 in the premium, and then Squid Game and TMNT had that in the free track. And then there's also the guaranteed free rewards, which Call of Duty already confirmed. For example, there's a couple of DLC weapons that it could be. First off, the Olympia is meant as an event reward in the mid-season update, so that could potentially be something that you're able to unlock, and it's now labeled as a special weapon instead of a shotgun. And then there's also the pickaxe melee weapon that is also labeled as a mid-season event reward as well. So one of these is probably going to be the main primary reward that you're going to be able to get within the free track. Now, based on all this information, what are your thoughts and opinions? Do you think John Wick is going to come back for a part 2 and we're going to get him in season 4 Reloaded? Or do you think they're just going to stop at this ballerina crossover and then jump into something completely different? We've talked about how Mission Impossible was a potential crossover that the Ghost of Hope talked about, so that never ended up happening. Maybe that's what's scheduled for season 4 Reloaded, but at the moment, nothing is confirmed. We don't have any guarantees from Call of Duty. Once there's additional information, I'll make a video to follow up with that. It's still very early to tell. I mean, we're talking about content that's meant for Season 4 Reloaded, even before Season 4 is officially live. So there's definitely going to be a lot more information that's going to come out in the future. I'm going to make follow-up videos to this. So if there is intel found in the files, if a John Wick operator is mentioned or leaked by leakers, then I'll make a follow-up video and let you guys know. And then there's also the Season 4 Reloaded marketing. If Call of Duty confirms anything, I got you guys covered. But take this information with a grain of salt. Let me know, is this a collab that you want to see? Do you think Call of Duty is going to give it to us in Black Ops 6? Some were also saying that maybe John Wick is going to be saved for a future Call of Duty, maybe like Black Ops 7 or maybe Modern Warfare 4, when there's another John Wick movie that's going to officially release, making him the actual main character in that film. Maybe they're going to come back and do another Lionsgate crossover and then bring him in then. Anyways, that is it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and don't forget to hit that like and sub button. But thank you for watching. It's been your boy Chidzo, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys back again. Peace.